Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video we need to talk about a lot of upcoming severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center has added so many different days to our outlook here, so we're going to have to go over that a lot at the end of this video. We're going to be going over some current storminess that is still lingering from our previous storms, amongst other things with the upcoming pattern that we need to talk about. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, which month do you think will feature the most severe weather this year? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video. And first things first, we're taking a look at our current radar imagery, and it's actually kind of active right now. We do have a pretty big storm up here in the northwest, as you can see. We also have quite a lot of storminess down here in the south central and the Gulf states here. This was a lot for Oklahoma and Texas. Now it's moved mostly into the Gulf states at this point, where it's featuring mostly some storminess there for Louisiana and Mississippi, and that should move into some of these states a little bit later on: Georgia, Alabama, Florida, once we reach later today. Now, we do also have some lingering storminess here in the northeastern United States: New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Just some showers around that is in the form of snowfall and rainfall. Let's just zoom into all of these different regions real quick. Let's take a look first off at the northwest here. And as you can see, we do have a lot of precipitation moving onshore. This is just really active areas of precipitation here across many different states: California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and even Montana here. We're seeing this entire corner of the United States deal with pretty decent rainfall. Again, yesterday was pretty active here, but we're seeing even more activity today. Plenty of yellows around, plenty of snowfall, with even those blues showing up in a lot of that snowfall. So there is some heavy rain and some heavy snowfall going on, and it's pretty widespread actually compared to what we normally see in these regions. So this is a pretty big storm for you guys up there that is taking place currently. Now, we have obviously this feature right here that we see this rotation here on the back end, almost doing a little swirly here, as you can see. And this storm is mostly bringing the worst impacts here on the southern end, so we will zoom into this area here, where there has been plenty of lightning taking place, and even severe thunderstorm watches. I believe that's what that is, in here in southern Louisiana. And we've even seen a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings take place in there. The dashed ones, I believe, are watches, and then the solid lines are going to be your warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. And we even have a tornado warning near New Orleans that's taken place here over the past couple of hours here, as we approach about 7 a.m. this morning. Or actually, we're a little bit past 7 a.m. this morning. Now, some of this precipitation has also made its way into Florida, southern Georgia, southern Alabama there. So definitely quite a bit of activity going on for these regions. And then again, we do have these showers up here to the northeast, snowfall and rainfall here. Plenty of that precipitation taking place here. Michigan, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, all of these regions are dealing with just some of these snowfall and rainfall showers. Let's take a zoomed out look here. Just the overall pattern is looking a little bit more active than it was yesterday. Things overall aren't going to be crazy. We will have some severe weather taking place, like I said, for multiple days. However, we're not going to have any major low pressure systems across the United States for a little while, like we've mentioned in the last couple of videos. So we're going to be talking about the overall pattern in just a moment on the model guidance, and we'll get into the Storm Prediction Center as well, like I mentioned. All right, now here is the European model. We can see that we have the storm up here and the storm down here, as well as the showers over here. So basically, it is correct about right now. As we move on with this, we see these storms do move into the southeast, further east, like I mentioned before. And these will generally be trying to make their way up the coast here, as you can see, into the mid-Atlantic, and then that eventually moves offshore. Now, this storm that was in the northwest has basically moved in to the south central United States, and this is going to cause a lot of our severe weather in the extended range as well, as this more minor to moderate low pressure system does move in to the central United States there. As you can see, it's a 1005 millibar low pressure center, which isn't particularly strong there. but definitely it stays in those 1,000 millibar range there, and it eventually moves up into the northeast here, as you can see. So it does kind of like this and just moves across the United States, likely bringing some thunderstorm activity for pretty much all of these regions. Not everybody's going to see a thunderstorm in there, but it will be possible for pretty much anywhere in there as that storm moves across. Now we can see our next storm here in the western United States. We can see we're seeing some activity build in there again. And we'll have to see if this pattern kind of repeats itself. And it looks like it does. We see this storm move from here down to here. And it's probably going to move up just like that last one did. So again, kind of moving like this. And then the result of this is really just, thunderstorm and severe weather activity potential in the southeast, like I mentioned before. There we go. That one's a bit stronger. And we do see a lot of warm temperature precipitation happening in here, so could be the first thunderstorms for a lot of folks there as warm temperatures are rushing up the East Coast as these storms are taking place. And then we see another big storm taking place out there. So really, in the grand scheme of things, it does look like activity is going to be picking up in the medium range now. So we are going to be in a quieter pattern for the next few days. But as we move towards the weekend and beyond, activity is going to be increasing over this time frame. So even though we're in a quieter pattern right now, that will not be the case for the entire long-range pattern. Now, let's take a look at that Storm Prediction Center outlook here, because we have a lot to go over actually on these outlooks. So here's the day one outlook, and as of now, we have general thunderstorm risks here in the northwest, which is very unusual for this early in the season. I've not at least seen that so far, so that's pretty interesting. The southeast also, obviously, with those storms moving in, does have a general thunderstorm risk as well in these lighter green areas. This is where general thunderstorm risks or general thunderstorms are possible, not really severe weather. It is possible, it's just very unlikely at this point. We do see it happen from time to time. It's just not the most likely scenario at this point. We do have a marginal risk in here, which is where some severe weather is expected to be possible in there, but not necessarily super likely. Now, day two, we also have a marginal risk. This moves up a little bit further north here for Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida here. So we do see these areas dealing with those marginal risk type conditions as well. So this storm kind of just begins to move up the coast. And then as you can see by day three, this is going to be Thursday, March 17th. We have 3 marginal risks and 4 general thunderstorm risks. So for Colorado and New Mexico, we have a general thunderstorm risk. Florida, we have a general thunderstorm risk. Down here in the deep south and portions of the Gulf states, we have a general thunderstorm risk. And then for the mid-Atlantic and southeast, as well as a bit of New England, we have a general thunderstorm risk as well. And then our 3 marginal risks where severe weather is possible but not likely. We have one there for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. One there for southern Louisiana, southern Mississippi, and southern Alabama, as well as the very western tip of the Florida Panhandle. And then we have one here for the southeast and mid-Atlantic for Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and a bit of South Carolina as well there. And again, this is just where severe weather is possible, but not super likely yet. Now, if we start getting upgraded to slight or enhanced on any of these days, that's where things become a lot more likely rather than just possible. Now, for day 4, we do have a probability outlook here. So this is considered this kind of extended range for the Storm Prediction Center. So we do see the yellow showing up here for Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana there. We have a 15% chance there of severe weather there within the yellow region. And that is basically where a slight risk would likely set up on this date, Friday, March 18th there, as you can see. Now, for day 7, so this is getting very extended, but basically day 5 and 6, we don't have a probability outlook yet as of now. But day 7 we do here. So usually when you see them, coming out this early and indicating this, it's not a good sign, because that means they're feeling already pretty confident in at least some severe weather, which means there is some room for growing in the risk here. This is by Monday, March 21st, so almost a week out here. We have a slight risk likely for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Oklahoma at this point. But when it's this big, you do expect usually at least an enhanced risk, but there is no guarantee of that. Things could look a little bit less bad by then. But typically when you see the bigger slight risk, that means they're leaving room for an increase later on from usually what I've experienced. Now, day 8 here, which is going to be Tuesday, March 22nd, so actually a week out, you can see that big risk for Texas moves further eastward for a bit of eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama, as well as, again, the western tip there of the Florida Panhandle. And again, this is a rather large area here where we would expect to see a slight risk. So I would say that it is possible for an enhanced risk to set up in there as well, if not worse. And that goes for both day 7 and day 8. So again, Monday through Tuesday, that's going to be the 21st through the 22nd. We're going to be watching for that risk very, very closely because it is looking quite elevated at this point. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're at a 4 out of 6. We talked about some very long-range things here. We've got 7 days out and beyond at times, but we also talked about the short range quite extensively. So we're going with a 4 out of 6. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, when do you think our next major storm will be? And Shadowbane 2009 said, I think the next week is when the big storms will kick off severe weather season officially. And hey, we just saw the next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or actually just Monday and Tuesday, it looks like the severe weather risk is really going to be picking up, just like Shadowbane is indicating here. So good comment of the day there. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Larry the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudalessa, Capite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Gleasy also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Capite, Steven Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.